Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be testing out and reviewing an under eye brightener. Now I've been sitting on this one for a little while because I was hoping that they would launch an additional shade to go along with it. So far they haven't, but I think I did see that they're coming out with like a warmer shade. I believe it's like a nude warm shade, which will be a little bit more on the peach side for, deeper complexions. But for now, they only have one shade, and that is what we are reviewing today. I am talking about the Catrice Under Eye Brightener in the shade Light Rose. Now, this retails for $6 US, and it reminds me so much of the original Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. The original shade was this like light pink shade, and I did, when I first discovered the product, the Becca product, I only wore that corrector, and I really liked what it did to the under eye area. This shade is meant to deliver that like brightening effect underneath the eyes. Now I know the shade is definitely not my shade, but today we are going to be focusing on the product and how it wears alongside my favorite concealer and my favorite setting powder. That was Riddick sneezing. He's always in here napping. This room tends to get pretty warm during filming because of the studio lights. And now that he's a senior dog, he really likes it in here when it's nice and warm. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna grab a little bit of the corrector with my ring finger. The formula, it does not feel as thick and tacky as my Smashbox and Becca formula feels. This one, it feels a bit more like it's obviously, a cream, but it just feels a little bit more fluid. Like it has a little bit more slickness to it, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and just brighten up this side first. Initial thoughts, this is pigmented. My goodness, it is pigmented. And is it canceling out, or is it just making the under eye area super white? I don't know yet. I'm making sure that I blend it really well so that I don't have a ton of the product just kind of sitting underneath the eye. Like I said, it's not as thick as our Becca formula, our Smashbox Becca formula. It's not as thick as that. So I do feel the need to really like blend it out. All right, so very pigmented, and it looks very bright underneath the eyes. Now we're gonna go in with our concealer. I'm using my Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer, and I'm just going to concentrate it here like I normally would. As far as the details, which I just remembered I forgot to go over, this is going to give you like that instant awake effect, or it's meant to, because it's going to brighten up the under eye area. It's going to balance or cancel out the bluish undertones, which some of us have more blue, some of us have more brown. Like it just depends on, skin tone, whether your dark circles appear more blue or more brown or more purple. Like it depends on your undertone. With that said, I think that this particular corrector is meant for more fair complexions, cool tone complexions. But like I said, we're going to be testing it out anyway and see how it acts with my concealer and then my setting powder. It is a cream. Now that I'm reading, it is a light pink concealer cream that was specifically developed for the under eye area, and it is enriched with hyaluronic acid and shea butter. So this is meant to keep the under eye area nice and hydrated. Hopefully that's what it looks like the entire day, but we'll see. So I'm just gonna blend this out now. Okay, so it did brighten. Like usually my concealer matches my complexion pretty spot on. I like to do that specifically for concealing because it just conceals better. You just get better coverage if you stick with a concealer that's closest to your complexion shade. But I am seeing that with this corrector paired with this concealer, we are getting more of that like brightening effect underneath the eyes, which I am not mad at. I am not upset about. Let's do this side. Okay, surprisingly, so far so good. I was like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work. I was already like in my head, I don't think this is gonna work. But it looks not too bad. It is definitely brightening the concealer shade, which is giving, in return, it's giving that like nice highlighted under eye area. But it doesn't look gray. I was concerned that it was going to look gray because it is so light and so not meant for my complexion as far as color correcting goes, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't feel like this looks gray underneath the eyes. Now to set, I'm using my Oma Beauty Trip and Smooth setting powder in translucent. So it's this like nice white shade. Just grabbing a little bit of that with my powder puff. So it's looking really bright underneath the eyes. Like I said, I am not mad about that whatsoever. Not at all. It looks a little weird because I haven't yet applied my foundation, but I'm going to zoom you guys in just so that you see what this looks like underneath the eyes after initial application of all three of my products. All right, so this is what we are starting the day off with. Pretty concealed and pretty brightened. All right, so now I'm going to jump off camera, finish the rest of my makeup, apply my powder foundation and everything. Just get it all done for the day, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Makeup is on, ready for the day. I'm kind of in love with this, okay? I'm just going to say it. I hate getting ahead of myself, especially at the beginning of the day with a new product, but I'm kind of in love with this. This completely brighten the under eye area, but without the grayness. I was able to conceal it and then brighten up my concealer because of how bright it was underneath it. It's working really well. Okay. It's working really well, with my concealer and with my setting powder. I really like it. But let's see how it wears, shall we? It is currently 10:47 in the morning. I do plan on wearing this all day long. You guys know the drill. And of course, I'll be coming back halfway through the day to show you some close-ups, let you see this underneath natural lighting. And yeah, talk a little bit about how the formula, how the corrector or the under eye brightener, how that's been wearing throughout the day. So I will see you back here in a few hours for a quick midday check-in. All right, I am back for a quick midday check-in. It is, what time is it? 2:35. So I've had this on for almost a solid 4 hours, right? Look at this. Look at this. It is not moving. Is that mascara? Probably. It is not moving. Like, the concealer is still in place. The setting powder is still good. Everything is still solid. I really love what it's doing to the under eye area. I love how brightening this is, but without the gray cast, without the grayness. And it's keeping the under eye area. I think it's keeping the dryness to a minimum. And I really like it. So we're gonna continue to wear it for another 4 hours to give it a full day. And yeah, we'll see what we're left with. So I will see you back here at the end of the day for my final check-in. I'm back for my final check-in of the day. It is currently 6:51 and I need to charge my phone. Now I've had this under the eyes for the entire day. It's been really hot here. Like, I think the heat index was at least 105, if not more. I was outside for, portions of the day here and there, picking up kids from school, walking to and from my car, that kind of thing. And I honestly thought that this was not going to survive because I could feel the sweat on my sunglasses. Like, I could just feel myself just melting. Now, before getting into what I think about this under eye brightener after wearing it for an entire day underneath my most favorite concealer and my most favorite setting powder, of the moment. I am going to zoom you guys in one last time so that you can get a good look underneath the eye area after a full day of wear. All right, so here we are up close. This is what the under eye area looks like after wearing this the entire day. I don't feel like it's moved around at all. I feel like the brightening cream has absolutely stayed in place, and it looks pretty good underneath my concealer and my setting powder. So I think I may have found my new go-to product for the under eye area, and I cannot wait. Okay, I cannot wait until I can tell you guys that they have more than just the one shade. Okay, because although it did help to brighten up my under eye area and it doesn't look like completely off, I don't foresee the same thing being true for perhaps deeper complexions, like especially much deeper complexions. That might look a little off. It might look like you just put white underneath the eyes. It has like that hint of pink, which is what gives it that nice brightening, little bit of color correcting effect underneath the eyes. I love how much brighter the under eye area looks with this brightener, and just how it highlighted the under eye area, but it doesn't look excessive. It paired really nicely with the concealer that I used for today, which honestly, this concealer never really lets me down, which is why I love it so much. It looks great. It held up. It does not look excessively dry underneath these two products. I mean, these two products, the powder and the concealer, are pretty top notch. Like, they are some of my most favorite of all time. But depending on what corrector I'm using it with, they may not look as great as they usually do, or they may end up looking better. I feel like these two products paired beautifully with the under eye brightener from Catrice. The best part is that this is only $6. $6. That's it. The formula is nice. It is a really nice formula. It looks good even during like crazy humidity. I did not feel like it moved around underneath the eyes. I thought it might, because it didn't have like that grip, that same grip that you get with the Smashbox and Becca corrector. That one feels a little bit more on the tacky side. This one definitely feels a little bit lighter, a little bit more fluid, even though it's not like a liquid. It does feel that way. And it is hydrating. So I honestly thought that it was going to make my concealer move around, but fortunately it didn't. It looks great. It stayed on all day. And I think I'm going to definitely be reaching for this more often than not. So it's a win. It's a win. It's a good one. It's a good one. So that completes today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's product review and that you found it helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. All of those things really do go a long way here on YouTube, and I appreciate you so much for doing that, as they do help the channel grow. So thank you once again. Take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.